All right, continuing on with our mammalian adaptations, we talked about a lot of different skull features that mammals have. Today we can have a hodgepodge of different things. Yeah, we're just going to jump right in. All right. We talked about how mammals are endothermic, meaning that they're warm-blooded. That means that they are required to maintain their body temperature. Okay, they don't have the luxury of fish and amphibians and reptiles that can drop their body temp and metabolism down to whatever the temperature of the environment is. They are required to continue to keep their bodies warm, which is really challenging, especially, us here in Minnesota. All right. Our wildlife, our mammals have to find a way to stay warm. The majority of mammals have hair that insulates them. Okay. It acts as an insulator. It traps air in that stays warm. You've probably seen mammals out on a cold day that puff up so they can trap more air in close to their bodies. Not all mammals have hair. A lot of marine mammals will have a layer of blubber, or subcutaneous fat would be the more appropriate term. All right, so that helps insulate mammals as well. We as humans have a little bit of both of these. Okay, we have some hair that keeps our heads warm. We have some subcutaneous fat. Ours is more protecting of vital organs. Humans are a weird example here. We're smart, and so we've used other mammals as insulators. Think about fur coats or down jackets, those kind of things there. Real quick, like I said, mammals have a diaphragm. That was from our initial slide there. Those of you that haven't taken anatomy yet, your diaphragm works. It's this kind of parachute-shaped muscle that's in your chest. All right, it's just below your sternum. If you've ever gotten the wind knocked out of you before, that is, you took a shot right to the diaphragm, and that muscle is spasming, and it's making it difficult for you to breathe. So this is a big muscle in expanding and contracting our chest cavity. Some interesting physics on how that works for a different day there, but that's that diaphragm. Digestion, we are going to go through digestion more completely on a different later after we talk about mammalian orders, but mammals have very diverse diets. Like we said, we have not vegetarians, it's not the right word. We have herbivores, we have omnivores, we have carnivores. And so we do have a complex digestive system that we're going to be going into more detail about later. Circulation, like we were have been talking about before, mammals have a 4-chambered heart and a double loop circulation. So they have a very efficient way to spread blood throughout the body. Blood carries nutrients, carries oxygen and waste and carbon dioxide away. And so ours is very efficient, and we have a closed circulatory system. That means that our capillaries are touching, and so our blood is individually piped to each cell versus, like we see here below, some insects, they have an open system, so they just kind of bathe their cells in blood and rely on diffusion and movements and those kind of things to move blood around. Speaking of movements, mammals are a very diverse group. Okay, we, as a order of vertebrates, as a group of vertebrates, we have colonized the globe. Mammals live in the North Pole. They live in the deep in the oceans. They live in the deserts. They are well adapted, and part of that is movement. Okay, some mammals run, some climb, some dig, some fly, some swim, a little bit of everything in the mammalian kingdom. But they are movers, right? They are going to move around quite frequently. So we see a similar bone pattern that are adapted for different jobs. Okay, our last one here today is about mammalian reproduction. So most mammals are going to give birth to live young. All right, we know this. All right, mammals are not egg layers. Well, exceptions. There are our first two groups that we're going to be going into in our next lecture are the exceptions to the rule. But mammals are not egg layers. For the most part, they give birth to live young. And we'll get into how that works and how these two groups function as well. So short and sweet today. Just wanted to highlight some of those before we dive into a lot more memorization of orders and a lot more technicalities and how these things work. So best of luck.